Here at Possum Pals Play, there are two things we love most in the world, being told we're pretty and a pizza place that closed down in 2021 that we're still not over. Coming at a close third and fourth is open world survival games and Victorian era fashion. Slated to come out as early access this Tuesday, February 20th on Steam, is a game that could possibly have us become unemployed losers who spend day and night drooling over the keyboard, communicating in a language only the two of us can understand, and surviving off energy drinks and junk food, because it may just have everything we've ever hoped for. If you're not already aware, it's a PvE open world survival crafting game called Nightingale. It's set in a fantasy alternate reality Victorian era. Let's talk about some of the things we know about the game to get hyped up for Tuesday. What I can gather in terms of story, without giving too much away, is that we're in an alternate history 1800s, and humans and magical creatures called Fae have been living together for centuries. Something bad called the Pale occurs, which scatters everyone into different realms. We're all trying to get back to a city called Nightingale, hoping it will be a sanctuary that the Pale hasn't devastated. There will be melee weapons, along with guns. You're a realm walker. You'll be opening up portals into a multitude of biomes using a card system. All realms have their own sets of environmental dangers, points of interest, and challenges. They will contain hostile and friendly creatures. Most of these realms are temporary, and once the last player leaves, it's gone forever. I think I read there's something like 20,000 different variations. There's 3 biomes you can go to, which are forest, desert, and swamp. PvE means player versus environment. We'll be fighting the environment, not our fellow realm walkers. As you play throughout the game, the difficulty does increase. We, the players, can also adjust our difficulty preferences up or down. It's $29.99 USD with automatic regional pricing on Steam. You can play solo or with up to 6 players. It is, however, an online game only. There is a dedicated home realm called the Respite Realm, which you can fast travel to. It will always be available to visit, and it's where players can build their base, and when you die, you will return there. You can only have one open at a time, but you can change which realm you want to use as your Respite Realm at any time. Realm is starting to sound like a fake word. You can share it with your friends and build some nifty-looking settlements and then go on adventures together. I mentioned earlier, there's a card system that players use to access these different realms. They're called, you guessed it, realm cards. The realms that open are determined by the realm card's traits. There are 3 groups of cards: biome realm cards, major realm cards, and minor realm cards. The minor and major cards can influence the creatures, the number of resource nodes, enemies, and more that will be in the realm. You craft them using materials you find in the environment. I don't think I'm smart enough or know enough about the game to properly explain the realm cards, and I need a break from the word realm, so down in the description I'll leave a video of the developers explaining them in more detail. Make sure you rest. If your rest drops too low, you will lose max stamina, and if it reaches 0, you will succumb, as they put it. Furniture, lighting, and heat increases comfort, and more comfort means health and stamina bonuses. Also, you have to meet the minimum comfort level to even be able to rest. NVIDIA GeForce Now will be supported, so if your PC specs aren't ideal, you can virtually rent higher-powered hardware that streams to your local devices. There will be NPCs that will offer quests and give info about the overarching lore of Nightingale, but if you aren't interested, that's fine. You can walk your own path entirely. There are these things called vaults, which essentially seem to be dungeons where players do puzzle or combat challenges to potentially gain powerful or rare loot. They will be accessed through portals in the realms. When you reach endgame, there will be something called Apex Vaults that will be accessible through an endgame hub. They always end with a difficult big boss fight, so you best come prepared or with a group of 4 to 6. Even with a large group, it sounds like you'll want to be on your A game. You can have up to 3 characters. Progress is character-based, meaning as you complete quests and upgrade your equipment, the game progresses. POIs can have a minimum gear requirement before you can go in. Even if the people in your group progress farther than you do, you can still do those quests. You upgrade using essence, which is like a currency. You obtain this currency by collecting resources and completing POIs. When you begin, a fella named Puck will teach you how to play the game during the tutorial stage, but it seems relatively straightforward. Remember, it's a survival game, so it's going to play like a lot of survival games. Gather forageables, obtain tools, craft, cook, all that good stuff. The game is played in first person by default, but if you're like me and get a little oozy-woozy when playing first person, you will be able to switch to third by pressing F5 or going into the main menu and doing it that way. You can glide around on umbrellas. In Forest Realms, there are these creatures called Carnoots. To engage them, you'll need an enchantment, and the developers say you'll want to be prepared. There is a character creator, which seems to offer quite a bit of customization. You can even opt to have one metal tooth or a full set of them. With all that said, I hope you guys are as excited to play Nightingale as we are. We will be streaming this game this Tuesday, the 20th, over at Possum Pals Play on Twitch, assuming everything goes to plan. We hope to see you there. We have a lot of fun.